Hi, I stopped by today to tell you a little bit about what Lisa is going to be showing at SoFun next week. The first thing that I want to talk about is this really useful book. It's called Binding and Edge Finishing Guide. So what I really love about this is it is useful for seasoned quilters, new quilters, or even people who don't really do quilting but maybe make table runners and other projects like that. It is full of different techniques to use, lots of tips about how to get really good at binding, but also different types of binding. And while you're getting that, you might want to pick up this tool. This is a binding tool where you can iron your binding. You just thread the pieces through these little slots, and then you set your iron down right on top of it and pull it straight through. And so it gets you a really crisp finish on your binding, which makes it so much easier to sew on. One more tool that I wanted to talk about today is this Vario Creative tool. We get asked all the time about how we put in rivets. And let's be honest, the little hand tools that you can get just don't really do a great job. Sometimes you get a great finish on one, and then you might do it 3 other times where it's just super frustrating. This is a solution to that problem. So Lisa's gonna talk more about that in her video, but if you really wanna come get a good in-depth look at it, we'd love to see you at SoFun next week. There are also a couple things that I wanted to talk about that are not gonna be in Lisa's video, but will be at SoFun. So the first thing is this Nativity Stuffies disc. This is an In the Hoop project from Kimberbell, and it is a really adorable set of small stuffies. Well, she made the small size, but it comes in a variety of sizes that are all done in the hoop except for, of course, the stuffing and stitching closed. I really enjoy hand stitching at this point, and Lisa doesn't love it, so she handed me all of her stuffies to sew closed, and I forgot to bring them for her filming today. So you'll have to come to SoFun next week in order to see those. She did bring in this stuffing tool, which is great for getting the stuffing into those small little spaces. So if you are getting this disc, you definitely want to pick up this tool. And the other thing that she is going to do for SoFun this month is a couple patterns from So Kind of Wonderful. For those of you who have been around for a while, So Kind of Wonderful is the quilt company that created the quick curve ruler, and I used to present that when I was presenting. So if you have the original quick curve ruler, you might also have gotten the quick curve ruler mini. I think we did that a couple times. I did the mini pumpkin pattern with it. So we're bringing that back because this ruler is a tried and true for me. It made sewing curves a dream. It's amazing. If you've never done it, you really need to try it because you can cut it and then sew your curves without doing any pinning. So she has 2 patterns of that this month. One is a Posh Santa. These are both small quilts, kind of wall hanging size, and the other one is a Posh Gobble pattern. You definitely have time to get both done for the holiday season coming up, so stop by SoFun to see what she came up with. The last thing I want to talk about today is fabric. We try and bring in lots of different fabrics each month, a variety. We've really ramped up what we're getting, but it's always in a limited supply. We don't know how much we're going to get from the vendors. You know, sometimes we get our full order, sometimes we get a partial order. So your best bet on being able to get the different fabrics that we bring in is to attend SoFun. That's when you're most likely to be able to get everything. So this month we have a quilt kit and this fun flannel. We have some extra yardage in limited supply for those who want to get backing or extras for other projects. We will have this juicy charm pack, and we will have this, it's called a dessert roll from Moda. It's kind of like a jelly roll, but instead of doing 2.5-inch strips, they do 5-inch strips. It kind of reminds me of like if a charm pack and a jelly roll got together and had a little baby. This is what that baby would look like, as a dessert roll. So she made this fun quilt out of it. And if you would like to get any of these fabrics, I highly recommend attending one of our in-person sessions next week. If you can't make it in for whatever reason, you can always call the store or show up the week later to see what's still available. And we do our best to order more in if we can, but we're not always guaranteed. So we hope to see you next week, and I'll see you here again next month. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that you had as enjoyable a time as we did. If you liked the video, hit like, and then make sure that you subscribe to our channel. That way you'll get updates on all of the So Fun videos that we post. You can also go back and look at our archives. Megan has put together playlists of all the So Fun videos over the past few years. In addition to that, make sure that you have our discount card. It's a great time to get it right now, as it's half off and it gets you 20% off all notions in our stores. Stop by today. Thank you.